I picked up this 12-inch subwoofer. It's a dual voice coil 2 ohm in a really nice box, 2 cubic foot vented box. And when I hooked up to my amp, it just sounded like crap. It sounded like the voice coil was bad. And so I've been sitting on it for about a month. And I decided today that I'd open it up and get a peek at the voice coil before I go spend some money. And so I take it apart. This thing's flawless. Nothing wrong with it. It's still perfectly round. I cleaned everything out in here and I cleaned the edges. It's going to be glued on this rim and it's going to be glued on this rim. And I was trying to think of how I could do the shims in there. And I noticed these little kerfs that go out. So I cut little 6-cent pieces of paper, all the same, no bends in them, real straight. And if you notice, these holes here, 6 of them, have to correspond with these holes. And you know what? This the surround got a little funky pulling it out, but it'll glue back just fine. First thing I'll do is glue this little coming apart piece all the way around. Make sure that's secure. And then I'll put a nice bead on both of those and close it up. But yeah, as long as these correspond with these, and at the same time, this has a funny spider. They come out here and they're just wired. They don't have the little push-on pieces. So they come out here, so that has to line up here and on the other side too. That's all it has to do. And when I put those shims in, surprisingly, listen, I don't hear any rub noise at all. Once again, I gotta turn this baby around here. I'll do new shims before I put it back together. I'm just doing a practice run right now. But it's pretty much right there is where it needs to go. Oh, look at that. Funky. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. And you know, if for some reason that it's not centered right, I'll just do it again. I'll do it as many times as it takes to get it centered. But you know, actually this plastic ring with the screws, I have a feeling by itself it's going to center really good. When I took it apart, it did have some little debris up there and under the dust cover. So I got that all cleaned out. I used actually that can of brake cleaner is almost completely empty. I turned it upside down and sprayed with the little hose. And just air came out. And I got it down in that groove around the magnet and blew it out real good. Looked in there with a strong flashlight. Everything's clean. So this is pretty stout stuff. It's got a couple of dings on it. I got this speaker and the box for $19 at a thrift store, and I thought, shit, it's a $200 speaker when it's new. I prefer, this is probably 5, 6, 8 years old, whatever. I got Scar 12-inch subs, dual voice coil 2 ohm, and temporarily I put one of my Scar speakers in the box this came with, and it sounds pretty good for one sub in my truck right now, but ultimately I'm going to have a box that has 3 subs. This is rated at 2000 max and 1000 RMS. My other ones are rated at 800 RMS and 1600 max. They're very stout though. And my amp is a 4500 watt Scar amp. It's a single Class D, single monoblock. It's a monster. That thing, it's called an RP 4500. It's about a $800 amp. But I'll tell you, that thing, you really need about at least four batteries to really power that thing right. And you need the 1-aught power and ground to it. So when I get it all set up right, I'm going to have a bank of about 4 or 5 batteries. And I'm going to have them all bridged, running parallel with a nice piece of copper. It's looking real good in the back of the truck. And I'm going to run the 1-aught off of there into the amp. And it ought to come out pretty good. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this, the centering. I'll do another video once it's glued, and we'll hear it go. All right.